Hey students, welcome again to an exciting educational video today. This is Dr. Luisito Masanga at your service. Shout out and thank you very much to those students from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao who are faithfully and consistently watching my educational video. To these students, a warm round of applause to all of you. Mabuhay. To continue, our lesson for today is about the sales process or what are the steps in the selling process. And our learning outcomes for today, we are going to synthesize the application of the AIDA model to these steps in the selling process. Understand the basic steps in the sales process and comprehend how the AIDA model can be correlated to the sales process. So those are our learning outcomes. To continue, just to reiterate that AIDA model is an acronym that stands for A, attention, I, interest, D, desire, and A, action. The AIDA model was developed and authored by E. St. Elmo Lewis, 1898. He is an American businessman. The original purpose of the AIDA model is to optimize sales calls, specifically the interaction between the seller and buyer concerning the product or the service. So this tutorial video is really a application of how the AIDA model can be reflected to the steps in the selling process. So here you can see that this is the selling process. The selling process has basically 7 steps. No? This one, step 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Generally, the AIDA is here and here. What are the activities involved in creating attention? So in creating attention, you have step 1, step 2, and part of step 3. In the interest, you have step number 3, presentation again, and part of step 4, demonstration. The desire stage consists of step 4, step 5, and step 6. And the action, it includes step 6 and 7. No? So those are the sales process and how AIDA can be applied in each specific stages of the AIDA model. As you can see here, in the first step is prospecting and qualifying. That's creating attention based on the AIDA. So prospecting, you have to identify who is the prospective customer. This is time-consuming and involves many sources, meaning to say it involves some research, no? And then in the qualification, you determine that the prospect is really the potential customer. He is really the decision maker, okay? And must have means and decision-making authority and be open to the possibility of a purchase. That is prospecting and qualifying, no? There are two basic factors, willingness to buy and the capacity to pay, no? If those two variables are present, we can consider them as prospect. If one is absent, one variable is absent, we can just consider them a suspect. All right. So the next one is the approach. What is this? Initial contact with prospective customer. Use pre-call planning research to learn about their industry, the customer, their basic needs and wants, and how your product must best meet these needs. The presentation is the conveying marketing message to the customer. You must understand really the features and benefit strategy of your product. No? that focuses on the good or service in terms of be mindful of customer response and adjust accordingly. So that is basically the presentation which you create interest. Technology must be used efficiently to be effective. Before the pandemic, some of the sales representative in the presentation, they use a portable laptop. No? So instead of, maybe you can show some catalogs, some literatures, but basically they use laptops. Cold calling approach and the presentation happen simultaneously. Guys, in prospecting and qualifying and the approach and the presentation, you must really understand 100% your product, because knowing your product 100%, you have a good chance of closing the sales. Okay, what is the demonstration? Demonstration, buyer has a chance to try a product or see how it works. Multimedia interactive demonstrations are becoming more common. Example, demonstration videos like Black & Decker posts on its website. Okay? So that is the actual demonstration. And it's a key to success is planning. Really, what is the solution that you are giving to your prospective client about your product or service? Because you are not selling the features of your product. You are demonstrating to them what are the core benefits that will help your product solve their problems. And handling objections. In handling objections, these are full of resistances. But it doesn't mean if the customer is objecting, it doesn't mean that he is not interested to buy your product. Actually, resistances will occur because he or she wants to uncover that the product they are buying from you will not have a problem to them. So, handling objections is another important in the AIDA model. Expressions of resistance by the prospect may take the form of stalling or indecisiveness. Use objections as an opportunity to reassure the buyer or offer more suitable alternatives. So again, it is very important that these resistances is not a signal that the customer is not interested of your product. Actually, once you resolve these resistances, there is a pretty good chance that you are going to make and close the sale. Now, closing is the most important part of the steps in selling, because, this is the stage or step wherein the buyer is going to buy. No? Point at which salesperson asks the prospect for an order. Possible strategies are providing them two alternatives or options that each result to a sale. Advising the buyer the product is about to be discontinued or the price will soon go up. These are some strategies, no? So that you can immediately close the sale. And then you are going to receive your valuable purchase order. Remaining silent so the buyer can make his or her own decision. Keep communication open by letting buyer know you are ready to be of service. There are situations in closing the sale, right there and there, you cannot close the sale. Maybe there will be another engagement for you to resolve another handling of objections. And finally, once this is resolved, you are going to close the sale. And finally, there is a follow-up. Successful salespeople turn today's customer in tomorrow's by reinforcing the purchase decision. No? This is a follow-up or maintaining an after-sales service or a customer relationship management. Ensure that the customer service needs are met. Strengthens the bond salespeople build through relationship selling. Very important step. No? After closing the sale, you deliver the product. This is not good enough, that you must make a follow-up so that you can strengthen your relationship to your client. And this is our references for this discussion. Okay. Thank you very much for listening, for subscribing, for sharing the channel. Keep safe, everyone, and see you in our next engagement.